Married to Medicine. This is season 12, episode 2, Makeups to Breakups. And we got our intro song, and I'm a little bit upset because it's supposed to go Paige and Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Heavenly. You know, Dr. Contessa, Quad, Toya, Anila. It's like, okay, well, that was the old one. You know, they switched it around every time they get somebody new, but Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, and they're going to say, Dr. Jackie, Quad, Dr. Simone, Toya, Dr. Mimi, Dr. Contessa. Like, you hear that? The order is all off. I don't know about that. All right, and we see Toya first. Her and Eugene. He's home now for a little bit, and their sex life is going great ever since he's been working away and coming back. I guess it's making everything a little bit hotter in the bedroom for them. Good, good, good. Kudos to them. Toya over there talking about Heavenly. Why she ain't show up to the party and all this stuff, right? They flip over to Heavenly actually, so it's the first time seeing her, episode 2, and she lets us know that she is running for office. So that's why she's not going to be around as much. Like full-time Cash is just gonna be friend of, see her here and there. Of course, Toya talking mess because probably pretty much as most of us was thinking once we heard that she was running for some type of office, is like, who? Dr. Heavenly? Like, somebody want to vote for her? Yeah, because I probably wouldn't. But listen, it's her passion. She want to do some things. Go ahead, kudos to her. And, this thing about her son, he got into a little bit of trouble, and it seems as if she found out via internet versus Damon, who found out first, didn't tell her. So, this incident with Damon Jr. happened in, I think, 2022. So this is 2025. Obviously some years ago. I believe I remember seeing some stuff about it, but it just kind of blew over pretty quickly. Obviously it looked like Dr. Damon took care of it, so he felt the need to not, discuss it with Heavenly and what was going on. And you know how people do these days when you are a public figure or, TV personality, they're going to dig into all your business and they're going to find everything. And this is something that, she don't be talking about her personal business a lot. So for this to, pop off or pop out like this, it's a bit shocking, a little bit, obviously very sad for Dr. Heavenly. You love your kids, obviously. You don't want to see them get arrested and all that stuff, right? But her and him, Damon Jr., had a disagreement with each other, we'll call it. Okay, we'll call it disagreement because, when she find out things as a parent, you got to yell and scold. Well, I mean, you ain't got to, but you do yell and scold out of anger and emotion in the moment when you probably don't mean to say a lot of those things to them babies, because you do love them so much. He just decided he was gonna pack his bags and move on out. So he has not talked to his mother in a couple months. Okay, so things is getting a little bit real for Dr. Heavenly over there at her house. But it look very convenient that when she becomes a friend of, all her so-called personal business and things like that come out to light so that she has some things to talk about. But since she ain't gonna be here like that, these things can be talked about, but blew over real quickly so it doesn't, catch fire. We spend like 5 episodes on one little incident. You know what I'm saying? Where all the ladies be talking about you and all that stuff. Because that's pretty much what Toya wants to happen. She wants she wants this dirt to just, go at Heavenly for, and I don't understand it, Toya girl. we know. She need to be more transparent with the audience, but it's Dr. Heavenly, and this is what we expect from her. So it is what it is. Dr. Contessa in this building that her and Dr. Scott is trying to put together, their own practice and all this stuff that they got going on. It's bleeding the pockets, okay? Like the money is just bloop, 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 and the building ain't even nowhere near done. But they working on it, and we do find out that Eugene might be interested in renting out a space there, which will be very convenient for him, so he ain't probably got to travel so much. But we'll see how it goes. Aw, Toya done lost her doggy. Oh man, look, I almost shed a tear because if you've been watching some of my videos, you know that I do. Boop. I'd have a dog, okay? And if this nigga fall in somebody pool and drown, bitch, like that is messed up. I can't believe it. She done left the dang dog outside by accident. Them dang dog done fell in the day. Ooh, excuse me. But I'm assuming she said 13 years or so she don't have that baby for a long time. Oh no. Sorry, Latoya. RIP to Bailey's. But her and Simone go to get some facial Botox stuff going on with Dr. Brandy. Well, do we call her Doctor? Miss Brandy. She is a nurse practitioner slash what we call an estheticianist or whatever. She used to work with Dr. Damon, so she kind of, gives credit to him helping her out with her career and things like that, I guess. But yeah, helping out the girls, giving them some little poke and needle in here and there. But RIP to Bailey's. Toya had a funeral for Bailey's, which makes sense. It definitely tracks with Toya and her over the topness. Of course, she invited all the ladies. Even Dr. Heavenly showed up with, I think, Alira's dog. So it was really cute. I know some people do it, not everybody, but cute. Nobody started no mess. Quad just be wanting to shake her ass any chance she get. Okay, we know it's big. Okay, but anyway, Dr. Jackie have some type of dance class, so she told all the ladies to show up all sexy and stuff. So I'm cracking up at all their outfits for one, because some of them, okay, that's all I gotta say. But the class was cute and fun. All the ladies had a good old time. Dr. Jackie, was that a twerk? She was doing a leg. We'll call it a leg twerk, okay? Like, that was funny. All right, so while the ladies are over there at the studio, the men are actually getting together on their own accord, doing their little things. They haven't hooked up in a while. And plus, they do got a couple newbies, and they do, Greg ain't here no more, so Dr. Damon should be all good and cool now. But, excuse me, just got a little cold. But Dr. Jackie decides to, we'll say play a game, okay? Let's play a game. First question, who here goes through their husband's phone when they're not in the room? Of course, Toya raised her hand like, me, I go through everything of Eugene. So I'm snooping. Nobody else said anything. So Jackie moves on to the next question, which it technically wasn't a question. It was more of a scenario or something like this, should we say. Simone would have never went to Quad's party, whether she was invited or not. So Simone says no, like it was the fact that she got the invite 2 hours before the party was supposed to start. So it was like, no, because that's, you know what I'm saying, that's disrespectful. Like, you know, if somebody invites you the day of, like, they really don't want you to be there. So, of course, it turns into this big back and forth rebuttal between Quad and Simone, yelling at each other because you ain't gonna tell me, well, get your life together. Girl, my life is together. And all this, and then Quad crying because you hurt me. And I was hurt. And, you know, Simone talking about she felt like Quad was shutting her out and shutting her out from the group or something like that, which I'm thinking like, girl, that's kind of what you was doing to Quad, but okay, whatever. That's what you felt. Um Quad pretty much just apologizes to Simone and for all the hurt that she done caused this lady, and Simone actually doesn't take it because she's crying, talking about she don't deserve it. I don't know, but it's gonna take her some time. They'll figure it out. They hugged it out. They cried it out. And like Toya said, girl, it's time to move on. Y'all want to step outside? Oh yeah, and then on the other side, we had the men. Now, you know, like I said, we got some new men up in the pond. I don't think Angel got no husband. Angel was over there with the ladies, which, you know, she does look familiar. I read or heard a little bit that she might have been a basketball wife, because that's the only show I could think of. Like, she was not on no Love and Hip Hops. And I don't remember her being nobody's exes. So it must have been basketball wives at Atlanta when Evelyn, Tammy, they was all up in Atlanta, and it might have been the season where they had I would say light skinned Keisha. Yeah, she was a mixed girl, remember? And they was kept getting on her because she had a white mama and her black daddy and all this stuff. But I can't remember somebody was getting at her for something. I don't know. They just didn't agree. Was it Tammy? Either way, I wonder if she was on that season. But the dudes, they got Brandy's husband. So he's trying to ask them, like, well, what's some tips, to getting along in the group and all this stuff with the wives and stuff like that. So, the men are giving their opinions on, of how to stay away from the woman beefs. But I'm cracking up because if you're looking at all the men, when Eugene was talking, they all is like, I don't know what he talking about. But don't do what he said. Okay, that's only him and Toya over there. We don't play them games. We don't play them games. I was kind of cracking up, especially I'm like, right. They like, So with the men, Curtis does bring up the fact that, okay, Eugene, like, we hear you talking, but the part where, we just let our wives just do what they want to and say what they want to say and don't hold them accountable for certain things, to try to reel them back, to let them know that they might be in the wrong, and to probably stop doing said things. He brings up the Toya comment that she did on Watch What Happens Live to say, like, yeah, so when your wife, says things, it would be nice for you to, say something, to her or whatever. But Eugene, obviously is standing down in it, to support Toya because whatever she did say about you technically is true. So, he didn't give it any, like, he didn't respond or Twitter and all that stuff for it, because none of actually, I don't think pretty much none of the husbands really do any of that stuff. But yeah, so Curtis is just like, okay, I mean, you didn't respond to nothing, but I can leave it alone because, hell, I got it this week. Give it another couple days, next week, a week or two. Somebody else about to get it, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be over and done with. But in the meantime, right, just don't be letting your wife be talking bad about me or else the stuff that ain't so-called true, okay? So that was Curtis trying to, stand on something. Look, stand on something. Or what, stand on business? Is that what you call it? And Dr. Damon lets all the fellas know that, that Dr. Heavenly is going to be running for office. So, he's all supporting everything like that. So listen, okay, Toya, okay, she really got some smoke for Heavenly. Okay, I was just thinking it was just a little bit of little light here, little light shade fun, and she was just trying to poke fun at her. But nah, this is some serious beef. Okay, um, before they leave the studio, Heavenly was like, well, I heard they was talking about me at the party. I ain't showed up to the little it was the Dr. Mimi party. But I heard y'all was talking about me though. And I just want to let y'all know that Toya, yep, because I know it was you. I am running for state representative, and you can keep my name out your mouth, okay? Because you don't even know what a representative do. And she said, "Girl, I don't give a fuck what the hell a goddamn representative do. Because all I know is you ain't no person for the people. You can't even get along with the girls in the friend group. So how is you gonna try to do some shit for the people and hear the people and listen to the people?" And they go through this back and forth. Now they standing up. They trying to break them up because we don't want nobody to swing or nothing, which nobody technically would. I mean, we never know. You know what I'm saying? We don't never know. They did take a couple little shots, some of them. So, anywho, and Toya only drink Patron, and that was not Patron. It looked like some Kettle One. So, her off that vodka, she might want to hit the rocker. But anyway, they going back and forth, and that's when Heavenly was like, "Yeah, keep my son name out your mouth too." And Tori was like, "Yeah, I was just about to ask about that. Now that you bring it up, like, how was you doing?" And of course, Dr. Heavenly was like, "Girl, stay out my business. I ain't giving you none of this thunder, hooty boop." And this is where the episode is ending with them arguing back and forth. Toya is not giving her vote. Okay, Heavenly girl, I don't need her vote, but this is what the stuff I'm talking about. People, she ignorant, she don't know. Listen, episode 2. Okay, we good. We just starting off. Everything is getting established here with the said beefs and said knots, and even though Heavenly ain't full time, the time she will be here should be fulfilling. Okay, I was like, look, should be fulfilling because Heavily know how to put on a show. But anyway, so do Toya, and so do the rest of these other ladies. We will get to the next episode. Yes, so we can see what Simone Kids is up to. Okay, them badass boys. Well, look, they ain't boys now, they men's. Want to be lazy, and Dr. Cecil don't want to be daddy. But anyway, let me get on to the next show. I think I got like Salt Lake City or something like that. But all right, peace.